Hey guys, welcome back to another little sit down with Jans. Okay, it's Friday, and you know what that means. We're going to talk business from my perspective. So, today's topic is going to be whether or not it is too late for you to start an e commerce business. Now, if you're new to my channel, you probably may not know that I own an online boutique. I've owned an online boutique since November of 2018. So, it's been about 4 years now. And it has been quite the roller coaster, but it has been a roller coaster that I have enjoyed and I will continue to ride. So, is it too late? The answer is no, it's not. In fact, I got some notes. As always, e-commerce really started to boom in 2020 as a result of the pandemic. It wasn't that, people couldn't go and buy things from Amazon or whatever. They absolutely could. We were doing that before, but now we were like stuck at home. We couldn't go to our normal fun places. There was just not things to do. And so people had their phones in their hands literally all day, every day. TikTok was booming, Reels became a thing. People were literally on their phones all day. And that's what e-commerce is. E-commerce is digitally selling things, selling something online. So e-commerce started to boom. I mean, like blowing it out of the water. And it was purely out of necessity. We had nothing else to do. We had nowhere else to go, but people still had money to spend. And it was so funny because from my own perspective, I was so afraid that during the pandemic, because a lot of people lost their jobs, or they weren't working at the time, or were working from home, maybe their pay got cut. I had this assumption that people wouldn't have money to spend. Boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong. So the pandemic actually did Brazen Boutique very, very well. As a result of 2020, I made about $215,000 that year. And it was, I don't even have the words for it. I didn't know, I couldn't have imagined. I couldn't have, I don't know. It was very shocking, but also amazing. I thought that it was a fluke. I thought it seemed like, oh, people are at home, e-commerce is working for other people. Oh, it's working for me. But e-commerce is now like a thing, and it just continues to grow and it continues to grow. So now I'm going to read numbers to you. So in 2019, e-commerce businesses accounted for just under 15% of all retail sales. So all retail, whether that be online, brick and mortar, all of those things, it accounted for 15%, just under 15%. Then it rose to 21% during the pandemic. And currently in 2022, it is at 22%. And it's estimated that by 2026, e-commerce will account for almost 30% of all retail sales. And guys, that is 5.4 trillion with a T. Trillion dollars. Okay. I don't know about y'all, but I want some trillions. I mean, I'll take millions at this point, but billions, I'll take those too. And trillions, come on now. I don't know about y'all, but I want a little piece of that pie. And it just keeps growing. And I imagine that it will continue to keep growing. So if you're wondering whether or not it's too late, absolutely not. However, I am going to tell you that it's so competitive out here at this point. You need to have a plan. So also, as a result of the panini, that's what we're calling it around here. Also, as a result of that, because people were at home and because e-commerce was thriving, there were a lot of people who decided that they were going to start an e-commerce business, whether that be online boutique and like holding the physical merchandise where you live, or, getting a warehouse space or whatever, or drop shipping, whatever the case. So many people decided that they were going to start an e-commerce business. So no, it's not too late. You could 100% start an e-commerce business right now, today, for little to no money, honestly. But it's super competitive, and I want to encourage you to make sure that you have a plan, because as quickly as you come in, you could also get booted out, or as quickly as you come in, you could also decide that this is not for you. And I really feel like e-commerce can work for anyone, honestly, but you have to be willing to work for it. It's not as simple as just starting a online business and thinking that it's just going to work because people are online all day. It requires actual work. I don't know if you thought that it didn't. It requires actual work. It requires real thought. It requires actual strategy. It requires money being spent, especially as you grow, especially as your customer base grows. It requires a lot. If you want to stand out in e-commerce, what does that look like at this point? Now, it used to be, the cutest content wins, cutest outfit wins, maybe potentially the cheapest price. But again, because the market at this point is like heavily, I won't say too, it's heavily saturated. It's going to require you to really have something about your business that stands out. So, what could that possibly be? Well, it could be you choosing to sell something that everyone else is not selling. I always think about the fact that I sell sweatpants. And even though I sell them really well, it's a product that people can get anywhere. Like you could go to your freaking Target down the street, Walmart, wherever. Every store in the mall has sweatpants, joggers, all those things. There's honestly, it's just a general pair of sweatpants. So with that in mind, for me, it's actually a little bit harder for me to be successful at it because it's a product that's easily accessible. It will be so much, in my opinion, it will be so much easier to grow an online business, an e-commerce business, if you were selling something that was not widely sold, but also something that people had a desire to buy. So that's one thing. On the other hand, you could also be someone who sells something that you make, like with your actual hands. So, for example, I have a few students in some of my programs who sell hair care or, body and skin care, things of that nature. Like, for example, I have a student who sells um, hair products, and she had some hair damage and things like that. She did her own research. She found out like what ingredients were great to use for the specific issues that she was having. She added her own little twist to it, her own packaging, so on and so forth. And she's doing extremely well for herself. But it's because she started this business selling something that fulfill the need for her and also fulfill the need for other people who were experiencing the same issues as well. Now, I'll say the last thing that could really help you to stand out in e-commerce these days is, generally speaking, your marketing. So marketing is a multitude of things: email, influencer, content marketing, SEO kind of falls into the scope of marketing, affiliate marketing, so on and so forth. There's so many different guerrilla marketing, so many different facets of marketing, but there's a saying that the best marketer wins, and it's true, the best marketer wins. But what that saying is not saying is that the marketer who spends the most money wins. It's not saying that the marketer who's been in business for the longest wins. It just says the best marketer. Marketing is something that I believe it can be learned, but also some people are just, generally speaking, really good at marketing. And that should look, I'll say, different for every business. Even though the like bottom line of what we're doing is the same: sending the email, sending the text, posting on social, so on and so forth. That's like the obvious things that we're supposed to do. It's how you do it that can help you to stand out in relation to others. So, not like the greatest example, but I'll just give you like a quick example. Most e-commerce businesses send the majority of their emails in the daytime. They send them in the morning, in the middle of the afternoon, in the evening. I like to send my emails overnight sometimes. I like to send them at like random hours, like 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And this isn't me just doing random things. I do want to say that from looking at my analytics and things like that, I noticed that I had an audience of people who sometimes come to my website overnight. Even from running ads, I could see that there were people who were clicking on my ads and things like that overnight. So I wanted to start testing, sending emails overnight, and that's been really cool. So just giving yourself the room and permission to experiment when it comes to marketing, whether that be in how you create the content, when you send the emails, what the emails look like, what your ads look like, how you talk in your ads, like random. But I saw this video of this woman who creates all her ads outside of her house. Her and her brother, I want to say they live on like a farm, and there's like cows. There's like cows in the background. It's like chaos in the background, but they're on a farm and they have this random toilet. I know this is really random, y'all. They have this random toilet outside that they sit on sometimes. Anyway, she's made so much money from her ads because they're different. They're just like, they're stupid, but they're also funny. But she's also saying something that matters and it's unique. And ultimately, it works. Instead of her doing what all the other people are doing, she's doing something different and it's making people talk, whether that be positively or negatively. But ultimately, it's creating a ton of brand awareness for her and working in her favor. So there's a multitude of ways for you to stand out in e-commerce these days. And honestly, it's necessary for you to stand out in e-commerce because every day the industry continues to grow. As you heard me say, by 2026, I think it said, it's estimated to be, I think 30%. Yeah, 30% of all retail sales. That's a very large percentage of retail sales. And so with that in mind, not only is that saying that consumers are going to be shopping more, I'm willing to bet that that's also taken into consideration that there's more businesses that are going to be created year over year, month over month, week over week, day over day. Every single day, there's people coming into this industry and ultimately some thriving like super fast because they're skilled, they're knowledgeable, they work the job. For example, I worked in retail for 10 years. I started a business. It was a little rocky first and foremost for like that first year. I won't even say rocky. It was a learning curve. But by year 2, I had it. And it was like, I won't say a breeze, but it was a breeze. It was a breeze for your girl. But every day there are people who are coming into the industry. It's going to continue to grow. Some people, I'm not going to say some, but I mean, I'm not going to say all. Some are going to continue to get better. As they make money, they're going to spend more money, which ultimately should produce more money for them. You got to do something. You got to do something to help yours to stand out because if they're going to continue to grow and continue to stand out, you're going to continue to get pushed further and further down or further and further away in the industry. You don't want that. So again, to answer the question, is it too late to start an e-commerce business? The answer is 100% no. You can do it. I did it. Regular girl from the Midwest. I worked regular jobs, a lot of them. And I got paid nickels on the dime, honey. And I didn't have a ton of money when I started this business at all. I used my money from the job that I worked to fund it. I got on the internet. I got on social media. I bought the products. I photographed the products with my iPhone here. I still, to this day, photograph a lot of my content with my iPhone. And then when I started making money, I started spending it in the right places or what I felt to be the right places. And it just continues to grow. And it's going to, by the grace of God. But I want to see you guys thrive. And in order for you to thrive, that's going to require you to be really intentional about your actions in this business. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. And I am very eager to know if you want me to go a little bit deeper into the topic of e-commerce and, standing out in our industry, because it's, again, is a necessity. So let me know in the comments if you guys want to hear more about this. So thanks for tuning in, and remember to comment below. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.